is talk briefly about, oh my god, I'm so sorry, talk briefly about, like, each one that I, really like. Some I haven't watched in a while, some I've watched recently, but I'll, like, go through that and, like, give you recommendations, for shows. So, yeah, this is gonna be more of, like, a whisper ramble video, which are personally my favorite to do and to watch. So, I'm excited to do this one. And yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Sorry, my hair is bothering me. Okay, let's get started. So we're gonna start with Netflix. So, and this is in no particular order. I'm just going through, like, they don't organize it at all, really. I'm just gonna go through, like, my favorite ones. So, let's start with the show I've most recently watched on Netflix, which is The Queen's Gambit. The Queen's Gambit. Queen's Gambit was so good. So good. It's about a girl who is an orphan, and she becomes this, like, phenomenal genius chess player as she grows older, and, like, enters all these tournaments and, like, ends up being, like, the best in the world. Like, it's a really good show, and it's like a drama, but it, like, has some, like, funny things too. Like, I've laughed a few times, but it's not like a comedy, you know, it's more like a drama show, but it's so good if you like those kind of, like, that vibe. I don't know, I highly recommend it. But yeah, I think it's very, like, intriguing, interesting, and, like, I never took an interest in chess, but now, like, watching that show, I'm like, wait, that's kind of exciting. So I recommend The Queen's Gambit if you have Netflix. The next show I'm going to talk about is All American, which is also on CW, which is like a channel, I think, but you can go on the CW, like, on your computer or your phone, and you can log in or something. I think it's free, so you can watch All American on CW as well for free. And it's like a kind of a football high school drama show. It's based off of a true story too. It isn't like nonfiction, but it's like based off of events, you know, of a football player, and so obviously they, like, exaggerate things to make it interesting, but that's kind of, like, where they got the inspiration from. I forget who it's based off of. I think his name is Spencer something, but yeah, because the main character in All American, his name is Spencer, and so they kind of kept the first name the same, but the last name is different. But yeah, All American is so good. It's like, yeah, it's very dramatic, very, like, I don't know, there's teenage romance, there's high school drama, there's football drama, and, like, things like that, so it's really good. Highly recommend. I also watched Emily in Paris, which I did really like. I thought it was cute, but I mean, like, it's not like one of those shows that's like, wow, this is, like, so amazing, but it's like, it was like a cute show. Like, I think I watched it in, like, one weekend because it's not that long. It's like a mini series. I think they're coming out to season 2, but I'm not quite sure. But yeah, that was a cute show. It's like this girl who is from Chicago, actually, and which is where I'm from, and then she ends up, like, taking this job in Paris. It's like a marketing job or something, and she, like, explores the city, finds love, makes friends. Like, it's cute, you know. So yeah, I recommend that as well. And the next show is on Netflix and Hulu, and this is an all-time classic. You had to heard of it, and that is Grey's Anatomy. Hello, yes. Grey's Anatomy is one of my all-time favorite shows. I hope that you know what it is, but it's like a medical show about doctors and stuff and their lives. It's like medical drama, personal drama, like, so good. Relationship drama. Right now they're in season 17, so it's really long, but I am all caught up. I would say that the first 10 seasons are, like, super good, and then kind of after that it drifts off a little bit, and it hasn't really been as good after that, but it's still fine. I don't think it will go on much longer, but yeah, Grey's Anatomy is a really good show. I highly recommend. And then the next one out, or like anytime I was in like an awkward situation, I'd be like, everything's gonna be okay, because I can go home and I can watch Jane the Virgin tonight and everything will be fine. And like, it's just an amazing show, so I highly recommend watching it. Like, if you don't watch anything, watch Jane the Virgin. Stop it. I feel like I'm always yelling at the cars and the motorcycles in my videos. But the next show, let's see, Glee. Glee I watched a long time ago, like 8th grade, 7th grade, I don't know, middle school sometime, maybe early high school. But yeah, Glee is like the show about the kids in a Glee club, which is like a singing club in their high school, and it's like a comedy, lighthearted, singing, like kind of like a musical theater show. It's really good. I really liked it. Sadly, two of the people in the show were part of the cast, actually three passed away, so it's really sad, but the show is amazing, so I recommend watching it. I also have Ginny and Georgia on my list, but I haven't watched it yet. People keep telling me to, so I will finish, or I'll watch that after the show that I'm watching right now, which I'll tell you about in a little bit. It's on HBO Max. And the next show is called, well, obviously, it's Gilmore Girls, and like, that's a classic. Like, you have to know Gilmore Girls. It's about the mom and her daughter, and like, she had her daughter very young. I think she was like 16 or something, like in her teens, and so they're super close, and it's kind of about their life, and like, it's like fun, and it's like lighthearted, and they have like a cute relationship, and yeah, so that's a good show. Gilmore Girls is awesome. It's a classic. You have to watch it. Then we have The Good Place with Kristen Bell, and that is like a cute show too. I watched it when it came out, so a while ago, but yeah, it was good. It was about like these like people who went to the good place, which is kind of like heaven, I guess, even though that they were like, they didn't do good things on earth, or not all of them, but like some of them, and then so it was kind of like this whole psychological, like, figuring things out show, but it was good. And then we have You, which is so good. I love You, and it's like a crime mystery drama show with love and romance, and it's about a guy, Joe, who like falls in love and stalks like a woman, and there's 2 seasons, it's like a different woman each season. He like falls in love and like stalks them, and it's like drama, it's like crazy, it's so good. I cannot wait for the next season, but yeah, watch it, it's really good. And then let's see, Stranger Things, of course, but that is like, I watched that like 2 years ago, so I'm not really gonna talk about it much. I think they're supposed to be coming out with another season this fall, though, or winter. Oh my god, please stop. Next we have Dead to Me, which is a really good show about a woman who loses her husband in a hit-and-run car crash, and then she ends up like becoming friends with this other woman at a grief circle kind of thing, and I don't want to spoil anything, but like, it's really good, and just it's like I don't know, it's really good. It's like drama, but also comedy. It's kind of like a dark comedy. I literally hate motorcycles. I like actually hate them. Like, please stop. That is so freaking annoying. Okay. Then we have Schitt's Creek. One of my favorite shows. Schitt's Creek is like probably my favorite comedy show ever. It is so funny, and like, some people had a hard time getting into it at first. I promise, stick with it. Like, you'll love it. I promise you. Like, I promise you. But Schitt's Creek is so funny, and it's about like a family who's like super rich from New York, and then everything gets taken away from them, and they have to move to this like tiny small like town, just very like not their style. watch Schitt's Creek. It's so good. Then we have Cheer, which I watched like a year ago, and now it's like a documentary of the college. No, wait, it's I don't know, Navarro or something like that. Cheer team, and it's like about their kind of journey to like nationals and like winning and stuff, injuries and everything that comes along with it. It kind of like goes into the depth of like cheer as a sport. It's really interesting, so I recommend that. And then there's Sex Education, which is like a drama comedy sex show, I guess you could say. But that was pretty good. Like, it's not my favorite show, but it was fun to watch, so that is good. Selling Sunset, so good. It's a reality show about these like really rich like Beverly Hills real estate agents, which are all these like girls who are super catty and like don't like each other but pretend like they do, and it's like lots of drama but lots of like rich clients and like amazing really cool houses, and it's so good. It's it's a reality show, but it's so good. Then we have The Haunting of Hill House and The Haunting of Bly Manor, and they're like the same show but different seasons. And then it's actually, so it's like the same show, but each season is a different story, but they do have some of the same characters, but they play different roles. It's really weird, but it's so good, and each season is really good. But it's like kind of like a thriller, not thriller, like drama, horror, almost. Like, it's like paranormal, psychological, like chilling, ominous, scary show, but it's so good. So if you're into that stuff, like, definitely watch it. Like, honestly, really though, like, is that necessary? Okay, and then we have 13 Reasons Why, which is a very like sad show about like teenage life in high school. Okay, 13 Reasons Why, which is like a super like drama, but not like drama like, oh my god, like that's what she said. Like, no, it's like drama like the genre drama, and like it's sad. It honestly portrays like the real life of some students in high school. Obviously it's very like embellished, but the themes that it covers are super mature, and so I wouldn't watch it if you're like young, or even honestly even if you're in high school. Like, you should make sure that you're like mentally stable before you watch it, because it is really dark and emotional, and like, so I would definitely make sure that you're in a good place when you're watching that show. So I wouldn't recommend it to everyone, but if you think that you can handle something very heavy and dark like that, then it is a really good show. So but it does have a lot of controversy surrounding it, so not far from New York. It's like a small little creek town. Like, I don't know if it's actually a real place, probably not, but like, it's like a town with like a creek, very small town vibes, like, and it's basically like them navigating their life as they're growing up and stuff, and it's really good. It starts out super lighthearted, and then it always is, but it does dive into some more like mature content as it continues. But I love Dawson's Creek, highly recommend. Yeah, it's a great show, and it's like older too, so it has like Friends vibes almost. I really like it. Okay, and then the last one that I'm gonna talk about from Netflix is The Vampire Diaries. I mean, classic. Like, The Vampire Diaries is basically a show about vampires. Has drama, has love, has comedy, has everything. It's literally like it has it all. It's supernatural, whatever. And Damon Salvatore, love of my life. Actually, I have a blanket with his face on it. Like, seriously. Here, actually, I'll get it for you. I'm gonna show you. But like, Vampire Diaries, one of my favorite shows ever. Like, so good. Hold on. This is my Damon Salvatore blanket. I love him. Love of my life. Literally my favorite ever. He's the best. Okay. Continuing. Now I'm just gonna sit here in my Damon Salvatore blanket. Don't mind me. Anyways, okay. Now let's do Hulu. I think Netflix had the most. Maybe Hulu. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so Hulu. Let's start with This Is Us. Makes me cry every time. It's like it's about a family, but it's not like a specific, like, it's like a family, but then it goes into like, so there's a mom and a dad, and then there's their 3 kids, but then it like flashes to the future where there's like the present, actually, where it's the 3 kids and their families, but then it shows like when they were younger with their parents, and then it goes into their parents' lives and their grandparents' lives, and it's like, it goes into, like, honestly, it's like the whole ancestry, family tree, like, it goes into everyone's life, and it's really good, but it's so, like, emotional, it just, like, it makes you feel good, but it makes you sad, too, but it's just, like, it's a really good show, so I recommend that, but no, you're gonna cry, and if you don't have a heart. And then we have Law & Order SVU, literally the best, like, classic show. Olivia Benson, like, I mean, period, like, queen, she's amazing, and the show is just like the best show ever. It's like, I mean, Special Victims Unit, if you're old enough to figure that out, you should know what that means, but I'm not gonna like explain it, because there could be people watching my video who are not old enough to really understand the concept or watch the show, so I don't want to like go too much into that, but Law & Order SVU, so good. Okay, then we have The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, and Bachelor in Paradise, the franchise, literally the best. I mean, obviously, like, who doesn't love The Bachelor? But yeah, so, I mean, I'm obsessed with all of them, like, they're all so good, and I think this past season with Matt, like, it was just crazy. I feel like the last couple seasons, honestly, were not great. Like, I feel like they've been downgrading. I don't know why. I feel like the people that they hire for the show, like, they cast, are just so immature, to be honest. Like, I don't know, like, no offense, but they just seem very immature and not, ready to be engaged. I feel like a lot of them are going on the show just to get, like, clout, or, like, get Instagram followers, and they're not really there to, you know, get married, which is, like, what the show is supposed to be. But I don't know. But yeah, then we have The World of Dance, which I love, but they only do, like, 1 season every year, because they have their, competition, but I think they should be probably doing it this summer, so, yeah, World of Dance, I love. It's, like, the big dance competition watched it anymore, really. I'm not sure, like, is it over? I don't even know, but I used to watch it all the time. Such a good show. About a fire station, and like the fire station 51, and so like the people in it's like very dramatic, love, emergencies, things of that sort. Yeah, and they have like 3 things. There's like Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, and Chicago PD. So there's like the fire department, police department, and medical department shows, but Chicago Fire is personally my favorite. And then I have Little Fires Everywhere, which is a show with Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington, and it's like very dramatic, kind of gives Big Little Lies vibes, very like about their families, and like yeah, I don't really know how to explain it. It wasn't my favorite show, but I mean it was still interesting to watch, so I recommend if you're into that kind of thing. Yeah, and then the last one for Hulu is A Teacher, which is about a teacher who has an affair with her student, and you know, things happen. So yeah, that was good too. I don't think it's over. I think I'm all caught up right now, but I think they should be adding more episodes soon. But yeah, so those are my Hulu shows, and then my last one is HBO Max. And here I don't have too many because I just got it. I don't actually pay for it. It's my friend's parents' account that I use. But I mean, like, if you don't do that. Anyways, let's see. I think I only have 4 shows on here right now. But yeah, okay, so the first one is Gossip Girl, which is like an all-time classic. I watched it in 7th grade. I would come home from school every day, get in the bath for 3 hours with my bath bomb, get some tea, light my candle, my French and lavender candle from Svu, and I would paint my nails in the bath and watch Gossip Girl every day. I literally didn't do my homework. Please, you do your homework. Like, I was so dumb, but I mean, I'm fine now. I do my homework all the time. But like, that was like my everyday 7th